Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be making the Darksaber. Okay, this is actually not completed yet. I just assembled it to see how it looks. There's still few things need to be done for this project. Here, as you can see, there's a gap here between the parts. I need to sand the connectors so it can fit properly. It's also noticeable here as well at the emitter part. Also need to sand here a bit to make it smooth. Other than that, I won't do much, just prime, light sanding, and finally spray painting. Okay, first let's back up and let me show you the parts for this model. This model is also made by Brad Harris. There's only 5 parts for this Darksaber, which makes it easier to assemble compared to the one in last video. There are 2 small parts, which are the pommel and the emitter guard here, and 3 main body parts: the lower grip, the upper grip, and the emitter here. Okay, so for the assembly, I still have the same problem as last time. It doesn't fit properly, so I need to set it down here at the connectors so it can fit it perfectly without any noticeable gap. For the pommel part here, I tried a different approach. The original size didn't fit well, so I scaled the X and Y axis to get the right size. I tried a few ranging from 90% scale to 98% scale. After trying with few measurements, here finally I end up with 95% on the Y axis and 92% on the X axis. This time I will be using super glue to combine all the parts. The one I'm using is just a regular brand that you can find in any stationery store. Here I have sanded this off camera, and now it should fit better. There's still some noticeable gaps, but at least now you can see through it, so that's an improvement. For the slight gap here, I plan to use a wood filler to fill them up. It will be my first time using any kind of filler, so I hope it will turn out okay. I have glued the lower and upper grip together and it looked better than from the one at the start. I also glued the pommel here. It actually wiggled a bit before, but now it's all good. For the gaps here, it should look better after I fill it in with wood filler and sand it down later. Next is the emitter guard. For the emitter guard, luckily I don't have to do much work. It fits here just nicely after just a little sanding. Finally, assemble the emitter, and done. Now onto wood filler and sanding. For the wood filler, I'm using this one from Pi. This one is 500 gram and costs around 12 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it here between the upper and the lower grip. I won't be doing any filling around the emitter because for me the emitter guard kinda hides the gap there, so it looks good. Okay, the steps are simple. Apply wood filler, wait for it to dry, sand it down and repeat if needed. So here's the first step. Apply the wood filler all around the gaps. I'm using this craft ice cream stick here. Apply it to all sides nicely. Next is to let it dry for 30 minutes before sanding. I let it dry here on this lightsaber stand from the last video. I did the sanding off camera and you can see the results here. There's still some noticeable gaps here and some of the wood filler got into other places as well, and I'll be cleaning those off later. I'll be doing a second round of the process and see how it goes. second wood filler done, and now waiting to dry. And here's the final result. For a first timer, I'm quite satisfied with it. Hopefully it will look a lot better once I spray paint it. Okay, for the color, there are several different versions of the Darksaber. From the Rebel series, it looks more square with silver and greyish color, while in the Mandalorian series, it looks more round with black and darker color. So the model that I printed is from the Rebels, so I will be spray paint it with just silver color. Here's my painting setup, a bit messy. Here is the primer. Later I will sand it down, apply another layer, sand again, and finally spray 2 or 3 layers of silver. Conclusion: I'm happy with how this turns out. The grip part of the Darksaber now looks like one big piece instead of 2 separate pieces thanks to the wood filler. The model itself is really nice thanks to Brad for designing it. Later I will look for the model that is similar from the Mandalorian series and I will build it. So that's it for this video. Do like and subscribe to my channel for more content, and thank you.